And we welcome you into the 2026 Women's Lacrosse Preview here at Greensboro College. I'm joined now by head coach Mallory Zalowski. And Coach, tell me a little bit really quickly before we look into this year. Just kind of give me your quick recap of last year.
Yeah, overall, I'd say it was a pretty successful season. Finished sixth in the conference, 5 wins overall, which is exciting. A couple of really big ones at that. So that's super exciting. I think we had a few kind of frustrating games that felt like at least should have gone better than they did. So kind of looking forward, looking to kind of make up for that this year. But overall, a pretty successful season. Pretty happy with how we finished things. I think there were a lot of hurdles that we overcame, a lot of learning. We had a very young team last year. And so I think, we came together, but we had some inconsistencies because we were a little younger. But hopefully coming back with a little more experience under our belt, working together a little longer. But overall, pretty happy with how we finished last year.
We'll break down this roster a little bit, but the first thing that jumps out to me, and I think anybody that followed you guys last year, you noticed 2 things. Obviously, no Rosanna this year, at least on the field. You've got her on the sidelines, but you lose one of your big scorers from the last couple of years, but also Brynly's back this year, and you want to talk about an incredible freshman campaign. So tell me a little bit about kind of how you expect your offense this year. I assume it flows through Brynly.
Yes, yeah. Bryn will be a big part of it. We also have a couple incoming freshmen. Super excited to get them in. I think there's some firepower to be had there. And even after just a few practices so far this spring, along with this fall, it's clear that there's going to be a lot of cohesion there, working together. And I think it gives us a chance to have some of our younger and or newer players kind of step up to the plate. I think Fenyo has the ability to really kind of start to light things up. I see big things coming from Kenzie Helton. They have put in a ton of work in the off season. So them combined with Brynly and then also KP, I think they've got a lot of chemistry already built up just from this fall. And so definitely looking to work together, looking to kind of build off of that. And one thing that we kind of talked about last year was, we really succeed as a team when we work together on offense. So a lot of times if we're looking to just drive, it's not going very well for us. And so being able to see those feeds, so whether it's a drive off Brynly and she's seeing that feed, or driving elsewhere and then making that cut, seeing that inside, we're really much more successful when we have a lot of the assists. And I think we saw that in the games last spring when we worked together as a team.
I'm going to ask you a little bit about the offense as a whole here in just a minute, but one last question on Brynly before we move off of that. Yeah. How can she build off of what was already an incredible first year? What's the next step for her?
Yeah, part of what we were just talking about in terms of working with her teammates. She obviously is a very strong driver, very strong scorer. But adding, a few more tools to her belt in terms of different shot selections, that type of thing, as well as, looking to work with her teammates a little bit more, getting a little more shifty and creative. Rosanna and I were literally talking about that this morning. And so just, building off of that, obviously there's a lot of skill there, a lot of lacrosse IQ. Mm-hmm. And so building off that, but allowing for a little bit more creativity and flow, I think will help big time too.
Before I came here to Greensboro College, I worked in the studios at Learfield, and one of the teams I worked with was the men's lacrosse team at Syracuse, and they had a big scorer, Joey Spallina, that took away a lot of the defense's attention and opened things up offensively for everyone else. Obviously, everybody knows Bryn, and they're going to be focused on her. How does that open up the offense for your other scorers?
Oh, I think that's huge. I think, she definitely can pull a lot of attention. And like I mentioned, I think that opens up a lot of opportunities for like Kiera and KP and Kenzie and some of our other goal scorers to be able to get those opportunities to drive to goal while teams kind of pick up on Bryn. And I think, we've got Genesis coming back. We've got a lot of midfield kind of players this year, which is super exciting. And so those are all definitely big pieces of it. And I think, having defense be distracted with Bryn definitely helps us open up other people and give us different options.
Speaking of defense, how are you feeling about the way that your back line's shaping up in your goalkeepers right now?
Yeah, on the goalie side, things are looking great. We've got 3 goalies this year, and all very talented. We put in some work this fall. We had virtual goalie coaching that we were doing throughout this fall, which I think helped immensely for us. And so they're obviously all competing, but working hard with one another. Definitely kind of improvements on that front from last year. Defensively, we've got, a big portion of our defense coming back. So we've got Sid coming back, Bethany, Ashley, big components of our backfield. And to be honest, some of our goalies are likely going to step out and have to play a little defense. So we've been working that a little in practice already. And I think that general sense is already there. DeKayla, she played basketball, so the instincts are already there in terms of the footwork, and it's just kind of developing a little bit more of that sense on the lacrosse field on the defensive side versus being in cage. But super excited because we've got that really solid kind of back row of defense already developed, and we've got Fran with her speed and aggression. So a big portion of our defense is back, and so they've had time to work together. We started adding in a bit of a zone defense this fall, so definitely things are kind of moving and grooving, and I think it gives us the ability to have a couple different looks on the defensive side.
I know, especially at the Division III level for women's lacrosse, sometimes it's difficult to get the numbers that you want as far as your roster and to do your recruiting. Tell me a little bit about kind of your thoughts on your depth coming into this year. I know it's a little lower than what you wanted it to be, but how do you deal with that? How do you manage that? And can you still add here this late into the off season?
Yeah, so definitely a little smaller than we were hoping to be at this point. So the sheer roster size is definitely the biggest concern for us. So trying to make sure we all stay healthy. A big part of that is getting in the weight room, making sure that we're doing, all of our injury prevention workouts, that type of stuff, making sure we're sleeping, eating properly,
because every college kid does that, right?
Right? Oh, of course, absolutely. But making sure, we're trying to keep ourselves as healthy as possible. That's definitely a big part of it. We did actually just add Mac Coos, who is one of our cross-country runners. She played a little bit of lacrosse in middle school, and it's coming back. Awesome. She's picking it up so fast. And so, there is the ability to pick up a couple at this point in time. Ideally, it's not where we're at, but that's where we are currently. And so we will make it work. But I think the team has been super welcoming to that. They kind of understand that we need some of that help, and they're willing to support and help and work with them to build and grow. And so, the size of the roster is definitely a bit of the scary part, but doing what we can to make sure that like I said, we've got a lot of midfield kind of ability, and so being able to kind of rotate those people in and out, whether that's back on defense or up to offense, give them a little bit of a break, keep those legs a little fresh. You just gotta kind of maneuver things on the field a little bit more and be a little more cognizant of those types of things.
Coach, obviously you brought a lot of playing experience to the head coach position, and now by adding Roe, former player here, brings her onto the coaching staff. Tell me a little bit about what she brings to the table from the coaching side of things as a former player.
Yeah, so one of the things that's huge is she obviously knows this team, right? She played with these girls for the last couple of years, particularly last year with the majority of the team, and was obviously a leader on the field. So she had a lot of the firepower, especially between her and Bryn last year. But she brings that knowledge of the team and their strengths and weaknesses to the coaching side of things. And so that allows us to develop drills to improve the things that we need to get better on, but also like when formulating plays and putting together defensive sets and things like that, it lets us actually be able to tailor it to the different players we have on the field. She also typically was our draw specialist, so she has put a lot of attention and work into developing our draw our drawers. And working on that side of things, which is obviously huge. If you can get that 50-50 ball off, like right off the top, that's a huge component of it. And so she's definitely put a lot of work in on that one. And just from, developing practice plan standpoints, she's got a lot of creativity. So she brings that in. She also, a bit of a film junkie. So, we're adding all kinds of different drills and footwork and like I said, knowing what her teammates and how her previous teammates like play on the field, we can kind of build off of that. And so she kind of brings that to the table, which is pretty awesome.
All right, I'm going to tell you last two questions, but I'm cheating because the first one's a two-parter.
Okay.
We're media. This is how we do things, So the first part is what is something from last year that you want the team to be better at this year? And what is something they did really well last year that you want to continue this year?
Yeah. So something that we occasionally struggled with was kind of getting down on ourselves relatively quickly. If we didn't get off to a good start, it just stayed ugly.
Game over, yeah.
And not being able to kind of fight back through that. Mm-hmm. And Rosanna and I were just talking about this morning, focusing a little more on the positives. Like even, things are always going to go wrong. We're human. We all make mistakes. Right. It happens. But you got to figure out how to not focus on that singular mistake and like let it control the rest of your game, your day, whatever.
Right.
And so kind of focusing more on that positive is definitely something we've got to do a bit better with this year. And I think from a consistency standpoint, that will help us. Something that I do think we did really well was when we worked together on the field, like our midfield transitions into our offense just clicked. And if we can continue to use one another on the field and see those next passes, that's going to be really big for us this year. So we've got to continue to work on that.
And lastly, goals and expectations for this year.
Yeah. Ideally, like we want to break into the top half of our conference. That, finish 5th or above is really what we're looking for right now. Obviously being a smaller roster size, keeping everyone healthy is a big goal of ours, or at least as healthy as we can be, and in, playing physique, and keeping healthy in that way. Those are definitely big ones. I want to see us be able to kind of transition back and forth between a zone and man defense. I think we have teams in our conference that having a man defense is super effective, but there are other teams where using a zone will save us a lot of gas on our defensive side of things. And so being able to switch back and forth is going to be a big part of that. So those are kind of the really big ones in terms of goals. Expectations, like I expect us to come out, with a bit of firepower. We've got some really good non-conference games, I think. February is a little bit of a tougher schedule than we had initially anticipated, with some last-minute game changes. So definitely a little tougher start to the season than we had anticipated, but I think that really will prepare us as we get into March and into our conference play. But I've got expectations of us, kind of coming out stronger than we have been, being able to put points up on the board, and definitely being stronger on the defensive side of things than we have been.
For our viewers out there, our first home game is when?
February 12th.
All right, well, we certainly hope to see you out there at Pride Field. Women's lacrosse getting ready. Should be a fun season. We'll hear from a couple of the players as our preseason preview continues. All right, kicking off the player interviews portion of our preseason preview for women's lacrosse, joined now by Fenyo. And Kira, first off, just tell me a little bit your thoughts about how last season went. I know it was kind of up and down, but you guys made the conference tournament, and I know that was a big goal for you.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Making conference was amazing. We did have a bit of a rough season, so as everyone else, but we were able to still work hard and still make it to conference.
A lot of young players on your team last year. They got all that experience. Tell me a little bit about your off-season workouts this year and how you guys feel as a unit coming into this season.
Yeah, so we had a winter training packet, and we just had our first practice today, and I think it went well. So, I mean, even though with the short numbers, I think we still can have a successful season, kind of similar to last year, but a little better in a way since we're working hard.
Last year, you scored, what was it, 19 goals last year? I think you said a career high. It was 19 goals, I believe, in 16 games. So tell me a little bit about how you want to build off of that this year.
Yeah, just going into every game, just thinking the same goals. Like I can score a goal. I mean, I don't know how it happens. Sometimes I kind of just close my eyes and just shoot, or if I have the ball, then like I just go for it. But yeah, definitely just wanting to be better than I was last year and get more goals.
Obviously, Brynly ManWaring had an incredible season as a freshman last year. Does having her on the field too kind of help take the defense away and create opportunities for you?
Sort of, in a way. I don't know. We kind of work with each other. So I'll like pass her the ball. She passes me the ball. There's a lot of assists in that way. And then also I want to try to get other people goals as well. I know she scored a lot. She does amazing. But other people have potential as well.
Last question here for you, and this is one that I've been asking everybody this school year. It's fill in the blank question. This will be a successful year if blank.
If we work hard.
All right. Well, hey, you heard it here from Kira Fenyo. Kira Fenyo, thank you so much, and best of luck this year.
Thank you.
Preseason preview continuing now. I'm joined by sophomore Brynly ManWaring. And Brynly, an incredible first year you had last year. 48 goals for Greensboro College. And just tell me a little bit about your first year, how you thought it went, and the transition from the high school game to the college game for you.
It went really well. It went better than expected. The transition was easier than I expected. There wasn't too many rule changes, not as much as other sports, so it was easier to adapt to that. I'm excited to take what I learned last year, experiencing my first year playing at a collegiate level. I'm excited to take that into this season.
Tell me a little bit about the offseason for you guys. Obviously, you lose some veteran leadership, Rosanna Espinosa-Ponce, who is now here as an assistant coach, but obviously you don't have her on the field anymore. Tell me a little bit about kind of who you guys have brought in and how you guys have started to gel together this year.
Well, it has been rough losing Rosanna, but having her as leadership is really amazing because she knows the team, she knows what works. We've had Kenzie came in last year. She's been great. She's really put in the work off season. We've had a lot of people putting in the work off season, and we're a little bit lower in numbers, and so putting in the work off season is very important because we need people to stay healthy for when we're actually in season.
I know it's hard to probably build off of what was already a really good statistical year last year, but what are your personal goals for this year?
Well, I hit 48 goals, so maybe hitting 50.
Okay.
That'd be pretty cool. Maybe some better defensive stats instead of just offense. That'd be nice.
You guys made the tournament last year. It was the second year in a row for Greensboro College making the tournament. What do you need to do to take that next step to not just make the tournament, but to win in the tournament?
I think it's really just discipline. This year our practice schedule is a lot more, I think, concrete, a lot more structured. So I think that'll be better. We'll be able to take that and apply it to our games, hopefully.
Last question for you. Obviously, everybody knows your name now coming into this season. We know you're the key point of the offense after last year. So what do you do to still create those scoring opportunities for you, knowing the defense is going to be focused on you?
Really just working on quickness and my IQ with the game because that's the only I mean, not that I'm getting targeted, but just, there's some rougher competition when they kind of have heard your name before. So being quick, having good IQ of the game, that's what I'm hoping to improve and to help me.
Well, Brynly, thank you so much, and we wish you the best of luck this year. We continue our preseason preview with women's lacrosse, joined now by Kenzie Helton, the senior. And Kenzie, first off, just kind of walk me through your thoughts on last year. I know kind of an up and down year for you guys, but ultimately the big goal that everyone told me in the preseason was make the tournament again. You guys did that.
Yeah, so last season was really rough. Like, we kind of had a lot of challenges, but we did get through and we did make the playoffs and everything, and really just kind of capitalizing on everything, finding our weaknesses and working them out early in the season. I think that would really come a long way. So we are on our way to make that.
It felt like to me from watching your games near the end of the year, you guys kind of started to hit a little bit of a stride by the end of the year. How do you continue that momentum into the season?
Really just trying to keeping the energy up in the locker room. I really think that helped a lot. Really just trying to be with the girls and seeing what everybody can do and just kind of work on everything.
I was talking to Kira and Brynly a little bit ago about the offensive side of things. Tell me a little bit from the defensive side and your perspective. Where do you guys look to make your biggest improvements this year?
Really on ball drops and really runaway balls. We had a lot of those last season, so capitalizing on groundwork a lot.
And for the first time in 2026, we welcome you to Pride Field. It's spring sports, which means we're outside for the first time since late November, and we're ready to get the women's lacrosse season underway. Hello, everyone. Kendrick Fruits here with you, as well as Jay-Sean Ayala, as it's time for Greensboro College women's lacrosse. They get the season opening assignment today against Division II Lees-McRae. We're underway. We'll meet the new players and returning key players for Greensboro as we get this one underway, but the Pride working around the perimeter right now. Intro down. Lees-McRae right now working outside of the 12-meter. Racing in towards goal. There's a shot and a score. Lees-McRae already getting on the board here. Madison Primo with the first goal against, allowed by a Greensboro College goalkeeper this year. It is 51 degrees right now. It is windy.
I can attest to that statement. It is a very cold night here in Greensboro, but we've got spring sports.
We sure do.
There's stuff to be excited about.
Lees-McRae in their second game of the 2026 season. They lost to Tennessee Wesleyan on Monday, 14-11 the final score. DK Thomason getting the assignment for Greensboro College today in net. She split time with Carly Walton last year. Walton 5th all-time in saves at Greensboro College. We'll see her this year as well. Ground ball scooped up there by Ceballos. Ceballos trying to work her way around Kenzie Helton. She's taking off down the far sideline, and now the Lees-McRae squad in the attacking zone. Thomason scoops that one up and tries to clear it, flings it all the way out to Kira Fenyo. Scooping up the ground ball, though, just past the center line is Alex Beliveau, and now Crystal Johnson with it. Well, we're seeing Greensboro College's defense being tested early. Johnson all the way in towards the crease and a score. Crystal Johnson nets the goal. It's quickly 2-0 Lees-McRae. We are about a minute and 20 seconds in. You know, we talked a little bit in the pregame show kind of about what Greensboro's offense is going to look like. We haven't really got a chance to see them yet. They've been a little bit on their heels here in the early going. Should mention for Johnson, that is her second goal of the year. And for Primo, that is her third.
Bobcats on the offensive. Quick and early here.
Yeah.
Out to a fast 2-0 lead. But Pride will look to hopefully get maybe an offensive possession. Maybe we see what that offense looks like.
Getting set for our third draw control here. Ball up in the air, and good effort there for Greensboro. That's KP Paggio. She's one I'm really excited to see what she can do this year. Loose ball in the middle portion of the field, goes out of bounds on the near sideline. KP, a freshman midfielder from Jacksonville, North Carolina. In fact, the only one of just two freshmen on the team. Goalkeeper Aaliyah Akers the other one. In fact, Akers playing as a defender here today. Greensboro a little short on numbers, so they've kind of had to move people around. But, yeah, Jay Sean, it looks like for what Greensboro lacks in numbers, they make up for in experience. This is a pretty veteran team.
Yeah, they do return a lot of the key players on this team, which could lead to a couple good games, lead to some wins.
Primo working to the top of the 12. Fires it across far side there to, I believe that's Barbie. And working around behind GLE now are the Bobcats. Walking the line on the 12 is Johnson. Gives this one off to Jones. Sage Jones. Interesting. We talk a little bit about this Lees-McRae team. There's another shot and a score high just under the bar. I believe that was Courtney Bednar's picking up the goal, which would be her third of the team. They're led by Taylor Murrell, who's got 4, but that is Courtney Bednar's third score of this young season.
That was good ball movement around the perimeter of the 12 right there. They kick it inside, just outside of the crease, get the goal to go.
So Lees-McRae only played 3 games last year, their last game in early March, before the program was shut down for the remainder of the year. Now, brand new head coach here for the Bobcats, and this is a team where you look back to 2 years ago, there's only two players left from the 2024 version of the Bobcats, which was their last full season. Ball going all the way back towards the attacking zone again for the Bobcats. Johnson throws it near side of the crease, working back around the cage. Losing the handle now, getting it again was Bednar's. Back up top now to Ceballos. Get tipped to work around the perimeter right now. Shot clock under 60 for the Bobcats. Just playing catch is all it is.
Just playing catch, looking for the open look, but the Pride defense is doing pretty good, kind of keeping them outside of the range of the goal right there, but they'll take another shot. It's no good.
Yeah, that attack misses just wide, but scooped up again by the Bobcats. That's Jones. Sage Jones, one of 2 returners from 2 years ago. Jones and Tori Mice. 11:34 to play. Right now for the Bobcats, they've taken 5 shots, all of them on goal. Greensboro has not even been in the attacking zone yet offensively. Johnson to Bednar's. Bednar's working in on DK. Now all the way to the top of the 12. Looking for some help, and they're going to pass it around far side. And a whistle and a stoppage here. That's going to be on Greensboro. 3 seconds in the circle, I believe. And so inside the 8 we go. Here comes the shot on DK. DK with the save.
It's a good save right there. Quick instincts. 19 for the Bobcats, kind of just ran up really fast. Good shot there, but a good save by DK.
Ceballos working around now on DK. Tries to go low left. Now picks it up her own miss. Goes the other direction. And Thomason makes another stop. Feels like she's starting to get into a little bit of a rhythm there.
Yeah, an impressive possession right there. 3 back-to-back saves.
She wouldn't be mad if Greensboro could give her a little bit of a break, though. Patton's pass up ahead, looking for Helton, too strong. Fenyo trying to scoop up the ground ball. She will not be able to get to it. Chinchillas over there. Excuse me, that's Coos, rather. Still a loose ball. Fenyo finally has it, tries to work her way in on the goal, and a score! Greensboro's first goal No, they're waving it off and saying no goal. Well, we thought that Kira Fenyo was about to provide the answer for the Pride, but the officials have waved it off, and all of a sudden on the attack are the Bobcats. Primo going in on DK and shoots over the crossbar.
Yeah, I was just as surprised that wasn't a goal, but refs are going to say that it hit off the top left bar up there. No goal, but I thought it went in. That was a great offensive possession, and we like to see that.
It looks like, at least, if nothing else, I think Greensboro is going to be able to have some success this year in transitions and kind of pick up those fast break goals, if you will.
Yeah.
Again, Lees-McRae, Division II opponent here, so not an easy test for the Pride to start their 2026. They will continue their home slate on Sunday against Sweetbriar. Ceballos going right-hand side. There's a shot and a score. Lisa Ceballos with her second of the game, her third of the season. And Shania Coppin checking in for Maya Arter. Also checking in Madison Deffenbaugh. And she's coming in for Sage Jones. Well, 4 goals in the first 6 minutes for the Bobcats. Greensboro still looking for their first official shot after what looked like a goal from Kira Fenyo has been waved off.
Hopefully this draw control can go positive for the Pride, maybe get another offensive possession, because that last one, that showed promise.
So far today, draw control's going 3-1 in favor of the Bobcats. This one high in the air, and they're fighting for it right around the center line, and it is scooped up there by Ceballos. Hasn't lost it, and now a whistle here as Lees-McRae jumped off sides, and Greensboro's going to have an opportunity. Pass up ahead to Kenzie Helton. Let's see what the Pride can mount offensively here. Helton tries to go inside, looking for ManWaring, but the pass missed. It was actually scooped up by the keeper, Mice. Coming up on 8 minutes to go, first quarter. Sun starting to set over the trees over the far side of the field. There's a long pass inside the 8, but it not handled cleanly. Now there's a twig on the ground. But the ball scooped up there by the Bobcats. Intent to play, catch back behind GLE for a minute, now working their way out. That's going to be Johnson. Johnson now coming in on the cage. Shot to the near post, and it just sneaks past the paddle of Thomason. And it's now 5-0. So Johnson scores her second of the game and her third of the year. Whistle there on the draw control. Greensboro goes early, and it'll be Lees-McRae ball. We play on. Bobcats already a 5-0 lead, now coming in on Thomason again, working their way back behind the cage. Pass that one to almost back up to the top again. Johnson with it. She's clearly been the early star today with 2 goals and an assist. Thomason for Greensboro already busy today. 9 shots she has seen in the first 8 minutes. Lees-McRae thought about attacking. Now they do. That one bounces in, and Thomason did she save it? No, it was a score.
Yeah.
And now 6-0 in favor of Lees-McRae.
Lees-McRae just.
Primo with the goal. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
That's her second of the game.
Lees-McRae just being patient, passing the ball around, looking for their open shot, and they get it there.
.6:44 to go, and yet another draw control. They've actually gone 3-2 to Greensboro now after the first 3 went to Lees-McRae. Up in the air and taken there by Primo. Primo into the attacking zone, working near side of the 12. Passes this one to Bednarz. Bednarz working it back around the crease. Greensboro finding themselves in quite a bit of a hole in the early going. And looking for a wraparound here. There's a quick shot on the ground and score. Another Lees-McRae goal. This time, I believe, was that Muir? That was Morrell there picking up her 5th of the year.
Lees-McRae realizing Thomason's been doing pretty good on any type of shots in the air to her stick side. And now they're starting to go with the bounce shots, and that's been pretty successful these last 2.
Thomason has saved 4 out of 11. Shots 12-0 right now. Good job there, Greensboro on the draw. Well, Kenzie Helton had it, lost it. Here comes Fenyo trying to get it back. Still loose around the center line, pushing towards the attacking zone for the Bobcats, and it's going to be Primo with it again. 7-0 Lees-McRae here in the first quarter. And again, Greensboro on the defensive. Really just one offensive look for the Pride today. Wildcats working back behind GLE. Now back out in front. Facing Thomason, here comes Ceballos. There's a shot with from the left-hand side, scooped up there by DK. Thomason, one of a class of 5 juniors on this team. Here comes Greensboro towards the attacking zone. And Fenyo had it for a moment, but I think Greensboro jumped off or was offsides getting into the attacking zone, and it will be another turnover. Just can't get any momentum offensively.
Yeah, it's been pretty tough so far. Lees-McRae does a great job around the midfield point, just not letting anything get past. Fenyo, she's done a pretty good job getting the ball from the goalie right after the goalie saves it, but Lees-McRae doing a great job boxing in on her, not letting her get past midfield.
4:23 to go first quarter. Johnson checking back in here for the Bobcats. You know, you look at Greensboro's schedule this year, and actually they play 6 of their first 7 games here at home. It's a nice start to the year in terms of the comforts of being here at home. Only road game will be a conference game on the 17th at Meredith, as the Bobcats continue to swarm around the crease. It's a scrum right next to the post. That ball finally scooped out, and the Bobcats with it. Good job there by Helton, knocking it loose from Bednar's. But there is a whistle. I don't know if they're going to get Kenzie there for being a little aggressive.
I have to say, it's not often you see snowbanks on Pride Field.
No. It certainly is an interesting backdrop, especially because you see all the dark pellets from the turf in there. There's a shot and a score. Bednar's with her second of the game. It is 8-0. Now I saw Jay Sean Football was working out here earlier today.
Yep.
Were you out there part of that
No,
group?
I was actually taking my daily nap.
Oh, all right.
Yes, but no, I went the day
You were
before.
better served that it's warmer in there, I'm sure.
Yes. No, I went the day before and the day before that.
Okay.
So I took the day off to get ready for lifts tomorrow.
I'm sure there's a drill you could come up with about, like, hitting a snowbank or
Yeah,
something.
no, definitely. Definitely.
3:12 to go, first quarter. Mentioned the sunset earlier. Now painting some nice colors in the sky. A little bit of cloud cover here. No real threat of rain. There is a little cell to the south, but not expected to really be an issue here for us. Ball going to be scooped up there by Sage Jones. Sage just taking this one straight in. Not needing any help now, finally dumps it off to the side to Bednar's, and back around the crease it goes. Pride coming off of their second consecutive USA South Tournament appearance. Remember, Coach Mallory Zalowski had to rebuild this program from scratch following COVID. And you just kind of see as that shot misses wide. The team taking little steps forward every time, and obviously a lot the last couple years to be encouraged about. Perhaps one of the tough things from a on-field standpoint, you lose one of your star players in Rosanna Espinoza-Ponce because in college there's this thing called graduating. But you keep her on staff. Your row is now an assistant coach to Coach Zalowski. As that comes over towards us, we almost could have made a catch on that one, I think. But yeah, so it's interesting, Jay Sean. You lose obviously Rowe's production and contributions on the field, but you still are able to pick her brain in practice, and I think too there's something to be said for being a former player and transitioning coach. Maybe you can see some things a little differently.
Yeah, you got to give credit to the coach first of all for rebuilding a program. That's never easy at all, especially after COVID. But as you said, kind of bringing your former players along as assistant coaches, we see it a lot here at GC. Coach Givens for football, Coach Steele for football, wrestling with Coach Wilson.
Yeah,
you know it's
Coach Ray in softball.
Exactly, yep. And there's so much knowledge to gain from a former player, especially that's already played in the system, been in the program, and there's not a love for the program that you can match like a former player.
Actually, I think just about every coach or just about every team, at least in spring and fall sports, have them. That shot misses wide of the net. Think of Amory Skinner for women's soccer, Christian Del Cid for men's soccer as that ball goes into the snowbanks. Cooper Ferguson for baseball.
Now that you say that, I think, yeah.
I'm just thinking, I think men's and women's basketball may be the only ones that don't. And I guess volleyball, Coach Bozarth, but
sure, that'll be coming soon, though.
You want to talk about the fact that volleyball had, I think, 8 seniors this year. There's a good cast to choose from.
Gotta think that's coming soon.
Chinchilla racing to catch up with that one, not able to. And it'll be another Greensboro turnover, again, right at the mouth of the attacking zone. Final 37 seconds here in the first quarter. We'll see if the Bobcats mount another offensive threat or if they're content to take an 8-0 lead to quarter number 2. Primo with it. Looks like they're racing right in, looking for more. Splitting between a couple defenders. She's got a good look there. The shot misses wide, just outside of the post, near post there. Still 10 seconds left. If the Bobcats want to do something with it, they do. There's a score past Thomason. And it is 9-0 with 9 seconds remaining.
that Primo again? I couldn't catch who.
I think they're going to give it to Bednarz
Yeah.
there, which will be her third, so a hat trick in the first quarter for Bednarz. Courtney Bednarz, a sophomore from Fulton, New York.
Wow.
This team has a handful from up north. One from New Jersey, one from Massachusetts, one from Canada.
Interesting.
One from New York.
Never heard of Fulton, New York, though. I'm not sure where that is.
Let's see. You should see how far that is from from your hometown, Jay Sean. Actually, there's two from Canada on this roster.
Really?
9 seconds remain. Where is home for you again?
Poughkeepsie, New York.
That's right.
Yeah.
I don't know why I had Rochester on my mind. I think I was writing something about one of our players or one of an opposing player from Rochester recently. But anyways, that will be the end of the first quarter. 9-0 in favor of Lees-McRae. We'll see what the Pride want to talk about here as we get ready for quarter number 2 on the Greensboro College Sports Network. Every college athlete has a story to tell, and at Greensboro College, we believe no one is better equipped to tell those stories than the athletes themselves. On the Getting to Know podcast, you'll hear the who, what, when, where, why, and how of each college athlete's journey to Greensboro and how they became a member of the Pride. We talk on and off the field, influences, hobbies, goals, and what it means to be a member of the Pride. It's all on the Getting to Know podcast on Spotify and YouTube.
You know, I just really felt like I was a person, you know, and they really cared about you, not only as like an athlete, but, you know, as an individual as well. And so that was one of the things that like led me here, honestly.
The Getting to Know podcast from Greensboro College Athletics. We are one Pride, and these are our stories. Second quarter here about to begin. Lees-McRae 9-0 over Greensboro College. And the beginning of spring sports here in 2026 picks up in earnest over the next couple of days. Jay Sean, men's lacrosse tomorrow. Baseball starts tomorrow. Softball season opener is on Saturday. And by the way, we still got two pretty good basketball teams going on right now, too.
Yeah, super excited for the rest of the basketball season, but just like that, we're already into the swing of things in spring season, and some of the best time to watch sports is when they're all going on at the same time.
Be on the air tomorrow at 11:40 as baseball getting ready to kick their season off against Washington and Lee, an ODAC opponent.
11:40 a.m.?
Pregame show 11:40,
Oh,
first pitch at noon. Yep.
I'm tuned into that.
Yep. Men's lacrosse later on in the evening. That one inside, opportunity there for the Pride. Tripped up right in front of the net there was, I believe that was KP Paggio. They got tripped up there as Greensboro trying to get an offensive opportunity mounted. But once again, the Pride falls short. Shots go 19-0 right now. Shots on goal 14-0. Liz is trying to work her way inside. McQuinn there to stop her, but scooped up there by Bednarz.
baseball's game, that's at a neutral site, right?
Well, technically, yes, it's at McCrary Park in Asheboro,
Okay.
but it's kind of home away from home for the Pride.
Right. Is that an Indie League stadium or minor
No,
league?
so it's actually a college summer league stadium.
Oh, okay.
The original stadium was built in the 1940s for
Wow.
Mill League and Industrial League kind of stuff, but it's been redone a few times, and the place looks fantastic. We were there for the beginning of the USA South tournament last year, and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Pass going wide, intended for Bednarz. It rolls out of bounds. Wasn't able to get to it, but so Greensboro's going to take over behind their own net. McQuinn to Thomason. Thomason wanting to air this one out way down the field, looking for ManWaring. Let's see if Greensboro can't get their best scorer from a year ago on the column here. ManWaring being guarded there by Beliveau, now finding Patton. Long feed up ahead to Fenyo. Fenyo couldn't handle the pass cleanly, and she's now in between three green jerseys. It's taken away by Arter. And if Greensboro could string some of those passes together. ManWaring there takes a hack at Liza. And Brynly is going to head to the box for a penalty. So that is the first card handed out today. 12:41 to play still. So one up here go the Wildcats, or Bobcats, excuse me.
I like their logo.
Yeah, very. It's got like a retro feel to it. I love it.
Yeah, it reminds me of Kansas State's
Yeah.
retro logo.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see what the Bobcats do with the man advantage. There's a yellow flag going to be coming up here as I think it's going to be McQuinn. Oh, no, excuse me. They're going to get Patton. So they get Patton. We're going to fan out around the 8-meter. And here comes the shot that goes up top. That was Sage Jones looking to go up over the shoulder of Thomason, and she missed over the crossbar. 11:44 rather to go. There's a shot and a score. Lees-McRae goes up 10. So we have hit running clock territory. So the goal is Madison Primo's fourth. And we'll head to the center for another draw. Control goes 6-3 in favor of Lees-McRae here. Here comes Greensboro again. Kenzie Helton working her way to the left of the crease, looking for a little help, finds ManWaring. ManWaring scores! Brynly ManWaring finally puts the Pride on the board. Greensboro's top scorer from 2025. It's only fitting that she scores the first goal of 2026.
Yeah, you got to know the Pride wanted to get her involved here. Just about 5 minutes into the second quarter, they get her first on the year.
And that is the 49th career goal for ManWaring, so next one will hit a little bit of a milestone for her. Third team all-conference last year as a freshman. It was the Greensboro College Rookie of the Year, female Rookie of the Year last year. But again, we kind of talked about it. Assist, by the way, to Kenzie Helton there. One of the things that we talked about, again, Jay Sean, and we'll have to see how it plays out over the early portion of the year. We know Brynly's going to get hers. We know that Kira Fenyo is probably going to get hers too. The question is, where are they going to find some more scoring help?
Exactly. Yes, you have two great scorers, but it's all about the supporting cast, and we'll see that as the season goes on. I'm very excited to see that.
Lees-McRae working around the outside, pass right in front. Had a good look there. Deffenbaugh was there, but couldn't handle the pass cleanly. And Greensboro with a little attempt at a clear, but now here comes Johnson again. Johnson slings it over near side. That's Merle. There's a shot, and we're going to get a penalty first, it looks like. Thomason ready. Here comes the shot knocked aside. And the Bobcats will reset here with 8:55 to go. Ceballos trying to go in on Thomason. Greensboro, good job riding her out of the way of the crease. And back outside the 12 they go. Now Ceballos trying to cut right through the middle. Good stick there defensively by Greensboro up front. That might have been Bethany McQuinn. A good job dislodging it from Ceballos. DK looking for Chinchilla. And Genesis trying to scoop it up. She's on the short end of a 2-on-1. There's a whistle. It's going to be Lees-McRae ball. Pass over the head of Johnson. DK with it. DK with a clear. And whistle over there on the far side now. And we're going to get a penalty.
Couple impressive defensive possessions there from the Pride. Kind of forcing some stops, forcing some turnovers, maybe giving yourself a chance to get out on the break.
Ashley Angel getting 1 minute here, illegal use of the stick. So another man up situation here for the Bobcats. Working around the outside, standing right around the edge of the 12, now back behind the crease. Pass right in front. What are they going to do with it? Good job again. That back line of Greensboro and Brynly ManWaring as well. Some of the attack getting up there, playing some of Greensboro's best defense of the night. Pride on the run right now. Paggio had it. Lost it, now is going to get boxed out, to use a basketball term, but it's scooped up there. Coos trying to grab it off of the ground, but that ground ball is going to go to Primo. Primo passing near side to Morrell. Shot score. That is her second, and it's 11-1. We go back to the rolling clock. Honestly, I think Greensboro is playing better in spurts here in the second quarter than they did in the first quarter, but you're just kind of running into a situation where I think the lack of roster size here just kind of hurts you. You get gassed.
Yeah, no, not a bad defensive possession, or the last couple, maybe 3-4 minutes defensively, but as you said, these possessions, they stack up, and a game like Lacrosse, you're really not getting a chance to breathe in between possessions, so as you said, they're going to get gassed. So we'll see how they use their limited numbers and try to get everyone fresh.
I think it's getting colder out here.
Yeah, definitely getting colder. The hands are in the pockets.
Let's see, I think my app is lying to me. It said 51 when we started. It says it's 50 now. I'm like, there's no way.
Never. This wind is something.
Whistle there on the draw control. And I say Greensboro's ball. Patton working far side. Greensboro trying another attack here. Looking for ManWaring. The pass off the mark. Give Mackenzie Coos credit for trying to chase after it, but just not able to get to it. Coos, a cross-country runner here at Greensboro College. In fact, you get a lot of crossover, no pun intended, in lacrosse. Chinchilla obviously on the wrestling team. The men's lacrosse team, quite a few football players on it. And Paggio bothering the goalkeeper there. There's a whistle. KP Paggio.
That was impressive.
Sure. And timeout being called here, so we will step aside. Greensboro down 11-1, 5 minutes to go in the first half on the Greensboro College Sports Network. .504 to go in the first half. And also just a reminder, at halftime, we're going to re-rack the preseason preview with Coach Chris Fennessy and the baseball team. We talked about that, or we played it yesterday during the men's basketball game. With their season opener tomorrow, we'll roll it again. Again, you can't tell, we're fully excited that spring sports are back. It's nice to be outside, even though it is cold. Enjoying being back inside, or being back outside.
Exactly. I mean, I get cabin fever.
Oh,
in the
you
winter.
know it.
I mean, coming down to North Carolina, being able to, be in the warmth sooner is amazing.
Bednar's overran that one, setting up a bit of a mad scrum just outside of the attacking area of the Bobcats, and there's going to be a whistle on Greensboro, and it will be Lees-McRae possession. Again, Lees-McRae only played 3 games last year. Loss at Lincoln Memorial, loss at Warner, and then a win against Montreat on March the 5th, and that was the final game of their season. In that limited time, and a 15-goal scorer in 3 games, Genesis Lutsky.
Wow.
Working around the outside right now are the Bobcats, now back behind GLE. Really, interior defense for Greensboro has been pretty solid here. You think about it, the fact that they gave up 9 goals in the first quarter and just 2 here in quarter number 2. Final 3:30 of the first half. Leading, actually, they don't have anybody on the roster this year who scored a point last year, either a goal or an assist.
Interesting. Whole new crew for them.
Yep, absolutely. There's a shot and a score there. Just right, it looked like DK kicked it out there for a moment. Thought it was a nice save, but a goal scored. And that's going to be Bednar's fourth goal, excuse me. So it's a 5-point game for Courtney Bednar's, and it's 12-1.
Yeah, I definitely thought that one was a save, but turns out just cleared the mark there for the goal.
Shots on goal now 16-1. Total shots 24-1. Ground balls go 10-8 in favor of Lees-McRae. So Greensboro holding their own really in a couple statistical categories so far. Draw controls go 7-5 to the Bobcats. Good defense there by Fenyo. Now ManWaring with it. On ball defense there by Johnson. ManWaring stops right in front of the Greensboro sideline. And the ball is dislodged, loses possession. And ManWaring, you can see, a little frustrated by that call. Johnson on the run. Ridden off there by Kira Fenyo. Slings this right in front of the net. Shot, score by Ceballos. That's her second. Ceballos, the freshman from Ecuador, makes it 13-1.
Get a look at that replay there. Number 2, Ceballos. Good shot there. Give them the 12-point lead. Ceballos, that's her second on the day.
Final 50 seconds here of the first quarter, or of the first half, excuse me. Another draw control. Greensboro one away from evening up that category. And good poke there by Johnson. And a whistle. Offsides there. That was Ceballos in the attacking zone. And ManWaring has that one knocked out of her stick. And on the run now is Morrell. Good pass. Shot, score. That's going to be Bednar's again, her 5th. And, you know, Jay Sean, much like in soccer or basketball, when you've got 2 people kind of coming on opposite ends of the lane, one of them passes at last second. There's not a whole lot you can do with that as a goalkeeper.
Yeah, in hockey they call that a one-timer,
yep.
Right? I mean, nothing more fascinating than a successful one-timer.
Well, that'll take us to the end of the first half. 14-1 Lees-McRae the score. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we'll hear from Coach Chris Fennessy ahead of their opening day tomorrow on the Greensboro College Sports Network.
Greensboro College. Greensboro College. Welcome home to Greensboro College. Welcome home to Greensboro College.
we kick off our baseball preseason preview now with head coach Chris Fennessy. And, Coach, just a whole lot of different areas to discuss here with you. And one of them, obviously, we were hoping to do something different and talk to you at the field, but Mother Nature had different ideas, so we're inside.
Here we are.
Well, let's go ahead and jump right in. Talk a little bit to me first about last season for you, your thoughts on how last year went, obviously make it to the Conference Championship Series. Just kind of give me a quick recap of 2025.
A special group that will forever be remembered to really continue to, hammer down what we've talked about and raise the standard of what this program is and what this program is supposed to be. And they exemplified it in every way possible. A group of seniors that were really, really special, and just a group that will never be forgotten and played their absolute hearts out. And very, very proud and thankful for those guys every single day.
Well, as we turn our attention to this year, obviously a lot of returning guys for you this year, and let's break it down a little bit. I know that we could jump in and go anywhere, but let's talk pitching first. Obviously, a lot of returning arms: Mike Richards, Isaiah Faldoa. You're bringing back Ian Bast, and then a lot of guys too out of your bullpen. Talk a little bit about just kind of the way you see your pitching staff shaping out this year.
It's going to be an interesting group in a great way. We have a lot of guys that have just been attacking the strike zone, so I think it's going to be hopefully a very deep group that can just pound the zone and relentlessly attack hitters. That's the goal. That's what we hope to do, and I think it's going to be a lot of guys in some different roles, and excited to see that. Hopefully, the goal is to get Stephen Dunlow transitioned to a starter this year, as he's coming off of an injury and will be in a good spot. But Michael Richards, Isaiah Faldoa, Stephen Dunlow, Ian Bast, Matt Nelson, Garrett Bruss, that group of guys returning, leading the way, and then some exciting young guys. Isaiah Rawls, a transfer in from Coker this year, Austin Federspiel, a freshman, Nolan Holly, a freshman, Carter Malarczyk, a freshman, and a bunch of others that I'm leaving out. Sorry, guys. But I just go down the whole roster. Those guys, I like them all. Excited about the group for sure.
Now, last year when you got in a pinch and you needed somebody to come in and get a strikeout, Dunlow was that guy. Do you have somebody that can kind of take over that role? You know that he's going to get a couple swing and misses.
I think so. I think we got a few. The weather's kind of throwing a little wrinkle in the prep leading into opening day, just like it has for everybody else. But I think we got a few. So not without pulling back the curtain too much, I think we got a couple different options, and I'm excited to see those guys get their first opportunity to go do it.
Coach, obviously, correct me if I'm wrong here. One of the things last year, and not to say the pitching was bad down the stretch by any means, but it seemed like kind of they got a little gassed by the end, and it kind of felt like, especially as you got into the tournament, it wasn't so much matchups. It was who's rested and who's healthy right now as far as who you're able to throw out there. Is that something you and your coaching staff and your pitchers have talked about, making sure you're available by the time you get to late April and further?
It's the beauty of baseball is just it's so unpredictable. It's never the same 9 on opening day as it is in game 40 or 45 in the conference championship like it was last year. So that's the beauty of our sport, and guys kind of working while they wait and waiting for their number to be called and hopefully taking an opportunity and running with it. Love our depth, love our group, and excited about all of them. Definitely a goal in preparing and how we've gone about the preseason and everything is to get their legs under them and get them ready and make sure they're in the right headspace and physically ready for what is a college baseball season, because it's 40 games in basically 2 months and it's fast. So the volume hits, but excited about our group for sure.
How do you get them physically and mentally prepared when you've had such a weird spring season messed up by multiple snow and ice storms?
We've been able to kind of keep our normal-ish schedule in some capacity. So in terms of the arms, the daily throwing hasn't changed too much. We've been able to face some hitters, keep our bullpens on schedule, and keep the track and the progression and the adding of volume to the guys has stayed pretty on pat, which has been good. Just get ready to go play baseball next week.
Well, let's talk about this lineup. It's a very stacked lineup. You've got some power bats here. Obviously, Evan Sykes returns. Mike Rinaldi returns. Hopefully a healthy Vasquez back this year. And, of course, the addition of Trevor Testerman, who I know everybody's really excited about, and we'll talk about him. But just talk a little bit about the fact that it seems like up and down this lineup, you can't pitch around anybody because the next guy can beat you too.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's a lot of guys back, and we're excited about it, and a lot of older guys as well, which have been staples of this program. Evan Sykes and Louis Barini in that lineup have been a staple since they got here. Mike Rinaldi's been Alex Vasquez has been a guy since the minute he's gotten here. Mike Rinaldi, excited about some additions of transfers and freshmen. Again, I could go down an entire list, but Jacob Severson, Carson Harry, Christian Glaze, Destin Matthews, Tanner Jackson, Tyler Alvario, Chase McInerney, Carson Welch. I can keep going. But
this is why you want to do this, because you've been practicing just reading.
This is, Mark King, Parker Broadus. Nolan Holly on the mound. Just a lot of guys that are really, really talented and really special, and but a lot of good core coming back, a lot of guys that have done it, and a lot of great leadership on that end as well of some people that you can believe in.
Well, for those that maybe didn't keep up with the offseason as far as roster moves go, one of the first things you notice is it's going to be a completely different outfield this year.
Yeah.
No more Brody Gardner, no more Chris Lee, no more, at least of last year's revolving door in right field. So how does the outfield shape up right now?
So, and you mentioned the addition of Trevor Testerman. He's been a big piece. Played infield at Averett the last couple of years. He's going to do that as well, but also play some outfield for us since he's stepped in here and has been a phenomenal addition as a player and a person, which is awesome. Jacob Severson has been a phenomenal addition as well, a junior college transfer from Herkimer, and then a handful of other pieces. And again, like the group that we have out there, you got Shane Garrett getting out there in some capacity this year as well. You got Destin Matthews, you got Mark King, you got Christian Glaze, you got Parker Broadus, and just a lot of really athletic guys out there that can go out there and run it down.
Last year, you had 2 senior backstops. Obviously, both of them gone. How does the catching position look this year?
Carson Harrod has been a leader since he's gotten here as a junior college transfer, which you're excited to see out of somebody behind the plate. And the way he commands a game is special. I'm excited to watch him go do it during the season and have a front row seat to that. But two young pups out there, Carson Welch and Chase McInerney as well, that are going to be really, really good baseball players. Excited to get them in the mix. And we got Shane Garrett back behind the plate a little bit as well this year too. So and he's taken to that very, very well since he's gotten back there this spring, and just excited about the group that we'll have.
Obviously, the middle infield set in stone with Barini and Sykes. The corner infield positions, no more Dom Scavone. How do you see the corners playing out as far as who gets the playing time? Because you have a lot of guys that can play those positions.
I think one of the beautiful things about this group is it's a lot. I think this group's pretty deep and pretty talented. So I think we're going to have a lot of moving pieces in a good way, and a lot of guys will have opportunities to go out there and play. Obviously, Mike Rinaldi will be a giant piece. Alex Vasquez will be a giant piece. Freshman from Tampa, Tyler Alverio will be a giant piece. Braden Sands from Sarasota, Florida, phenomenal freshman. Excited about him. Tanner Jackson from Sarasota area as well. Excited about him. Like I said, a lot of guys that are going to make big impacts on this group. Just really excited about them.
All right, I'm going to put you on the spot here because you named all your guys, so you can't do that again. Last year, one of the neat stories was Rush Bowman, a guy who wasn't a opening day starter, and then injuries kind of gave him an opportunity, and he jumped in a big way. Who is somebody that could be this year's breakout Rush Bowman?
I mean, I think it could be anybody. I don't mean to say that cliched wise, but that's me, so that's what I do. But it could be anybody because we have again, I love our group, I love our people. Luke Neubauer is going to make a big impact as well. I left him off the list of the infielders, so I apologize about that, Luke. Sorry about that, by the way. Like and subscribe. But I think it could be anybody. I hate to sound neutral. I think it's got a chance to be anybody. We're going to have a lot of guys in and out, and a lot of guys getting opportunities. And I'm excited about that early in the year.
One guy we're not going to see in and out of the lineups, Evan Sykes, obviously. And tell me just what he has meant to this program. Obviously, he's in the career top 10 in doubles, career top 10 in triples, all-time leader in home runs with a year to go. He's got, I think, 30-some RBIs before he's the all-time leader in that category, too. So what do you say about a guy who's done almost everything there is to do statistically here?
You say thank you, for one. But my favorite part about Evan is you wouldn't have any idea of that talking to him. He's the most humble. He's the most amazing human being on the planet. Somebody that bought into a vision 5 years ago now, when I first got here, was a part of that first recruiting class, and has been the epitome of what
second half action here from Pride Field. It is not completely dark yet, but I'd say we're pretty close to there.
Setting ourselves up. Looks like a pretty beautiful sunset, though, over there.
14-1 Lees-McRae after the first 30 minutes. Quick look at some of the numbers here. Obviously, shots go 26-1 to Lees-McRae. Shots on goal go 18-1. Ground balls 11-9. Greensboro trying to scoop one up here, but it's going to be the Bobcats with it. Lees-McRae perfect 3 of 3 in clear attempts. Greensboro 3 out of 6. Draw controls go 8-7 to the Bobcats. Also, a new name in goal for Greensboro. It is freshman Aaliyah Akers making her collegiate debut. Akers from Asheboro, North Carolina, attended Ragsdale High School. And we'll see how she fares here in her first college action. Tipped off the stick there of Johnson. Now working in on Akers. Akers got a stick on it, I think. We'll give her first collegiate save. Good pass right in front of the crease there. In and out of the stick, I believe, of Liza.
A couple members of the men's lax team here on the sideline cheering on their woman counterpart. Pride for pride.
Greensboro trying to get a little separation, trying to clear here. ManWaring is being dogged over there by Johnson. Pass looking for Coos. Missed her, but does find KP Paggio, who races up the sideline. Paggio into the attacking zone, waiting to get some help. Slings it to Kara Fenyo. We'll see if Fenyo can get in the score column for the first time. Nope, that ball dislodged. And taken by Primo. Walking in on goal, that one to the far side, and a whistle. We're going to get a penalty here.
Taylor, pull it out, tee it up, pull it out, tee it up. Taylor, on you.
12:20 to play here in the third quarter. Greensboro's outscored 9-0 in the first, 5-1 in the second. And here comes the attack, and another good job there by Akers. And we've got a whistle, a Greensboro player down. That was Mackenzie Coos. She gets back up.
Akers defended 2 shots on goal so far. She's 2 for 2 on saves. Good start for the freshman.
Yellow card to Crystal Johnson, the graduate midfielder from Gloucester City, New Jersey. And it's non-releasable too, so she'll serve the whole 2. Opportunity for Greensboro. Here's Sydney Patton. Patton trying to work her way around Primo. Primo's been tough defensively. Really has dislodged the ball from quite a few Greensboro twigs today. Whistle there. Kenzie Helton was about ready to start, and they immediately stopped play again. And Greensboro just had to reset. Now we're ready to go. Helton, a little hip check there from Merle. And she takes it all the way to the attacking zone. Morel working near side. That ball is loose. Coos going after it. Goes out of bounds into the snowbanks. KP Paggio needing a little bit of help getting off there. Brynly ManWaring helping her with her stick as Paggio took a hit just shy of the center circle. That's about the last thing Greensboro wants to see, already struggling from a numbers standpoint. 50 seconds left on the Johnson penalty. Continuing to pass back and forth behind the cage are the Bobcats with 10:20 to go. Continuing to pass around the 12, now working their way in. There's a shot and a score. Lees-McRae with the opening goal of the, oh no. Well, now there's a whistle. I thought it was a score. Then we continued to play on for a moment. I think the officials are going to confer. I thought it was a score. I thought the,
yeah, I definitely did think that was a score too. And gonna wave it off.
So Akers will get credit for another save. Said that the ball did not go over the line. Akers trying to clear. I think she whiffed on that one. That one goes straight up in the air. Patton going for it now. But Ceballos will come away with that ground ball. And working around the outside and back behind are the Bobcats. Under 10 minutes to go, third quarter. Wind whipping around here. We are in between the respective benches, would be behind the home team's sideline in football. The multi-use Pride Field, there's a shot and a goal this time. That is, I believe, Primo's fourth, if she is in fact the goal scorer. It is. So Bednar's leading the way with 5. Primo has 4, 2 each for Johnson, Ceballos, and Morrell. It is 15-1. One of the interesting things, Jay Sean, about being out here is obviously the sound travels a little bit. And
yeah,
following the goal, no goal situation over there on the far side as we're getting ready for this draw control. I'll finish that story here in just a moment. Draw controls go 8-7 to the Bobcats right now. Scooped up out of the air by Primo. But anyways, the Lees-McRae coach used the fact that I said I thought it was a goal as part of his argument.
Is that what he said? I heard the ref say he's not on the field,
yeah,
sir.
I'm not part of the game. So, yeah, I didn't know we were going to be used as evidence. Exhibit A, if you will. Can you imagine doing that in a game like baseball? Yeah, I thought that pitch caught the corner.
Coach turns around.
Yeah.
Guy in the booth, what'd you think?
I thought
Strike.
That, yeah. For football, I thought it was a first down. 7:15 to play in Greensboro College's season opener right now. Oh, good takeaway. Kara Fenyo being dogged there in between two Lees-McRae defenders and taken away now by Beliveau. And Greensboro gets it right back. It's Brynly ManWaring. I tell you, the Pride have just struggled, especially getting through this middle portion of the field. Just stifling defense by the Bobcats, especially while Greensboro is trying to get a clear or work towards the attacking zone.
Lees-McRae, the second they see one of the Pride's main ball handlers, they try to triple team it. They go for another shot. It'll be no good.
Not sure if Akers got a piece of it or not. Aaliyah Akers, 3 saves and 4 attempts. They're going to say that shot was wide, so. Shots now 31-1. Greensboro's lone shot, the Brynly ManWaring goal.
Cut, Barbie, cut. Inside, Alex. Pinball, Alex. Pinball.
And again around the 12. And that's the other thing, too, at this point, obviously. If you're Lees-McRae, with such a big lead here, you can eat a lot of that shot clock off, too.
Yeah, that's definitely what they're doing, showing their good ball movement around outside.
Loose ball out in front. See who comes out of that scrum with it. Still undecided. Now it's going to be Primo with it. 6 seconds left on the shot clock. The time to stall is over. Good defense here for the Pride. Shot off of the head of Akers. Great job by Greensboro's defense to come up with a stop there. I don't know that Aaliyah Akers ever fully saw that ball, but her helmet redirected it.
We're going to look at that save again. Shot clock winding down. Akers right off her top of that stick right there. Another save. She's doing good so far.
Absolutely. I've been impressed. And, it's interesting, too, because you kind of look at the roster and say, hey, there's just 2 freshmen on it. But I think safe to say, at least especially in the goalkeeper position, you look at the fact that, Carly Walton's a senior, DK is a junior, who is going to be the person to pass the baton or the stick to, I guess, in this case. And right now, Leah Akers making a good case. And I think part of it, too, Jay Sean, when you think about it, is the fact that she's holding up well right now against a D2 school.
Yeah, I mean, what is she, 5, 6 shots on
yeah,
goal, 5
she's
saves,
4 out of 5
4
right
out of
now.
5.
Yeah.
That is 80%. That's a great start to her collegiate career.
Got to give credit to that back line of Greensboro, though, too, really making it difficult here in the second half for the Bobcats to penetrate in towards goal. There's a whistle, and out of bounds was Lees-McRae, so Greensboro will grab possession. Johnson working on Paggio. Paggio, good spin there, and a check, if you will. Hard hit there. Thomason runs into Johnson. And we're going to go ahead and step aside here as DK is going to get looked at here on the field. 15-1 your score, 3:26 to go third quarter on the Greensboro College Sports Network. College athlete has a story to tell, and at Greensboro College we believe no one is better equipped to tell those stories than the athletes themselves. On the Getting to Know podcast, you'll hear the who, what, when, where, why, and how of each college athlete's journey to Greensboro and how they became a member of the Pride. We talk on and off the field, influences, hobbies, goals, and what it means to be a member of the Pride. It's all on the Getting to Know podcast on Spotify and YouTube.
I just really felt like I was a person, and they really cared about you, not only as like an athlete, but, as an individual as well. And so that was one of the things that led me here, honestly.
The Getting to Know podcast from Greensboro College Athletics. We are one Pride, and these are our stories. DK Thomason able to get up and be substituted out, but good to see her get up there. She did incur a 1-minute penalty on the block, so Bethany McQuinn, I believe, is serving that. We are back underway, approaching 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. There's a shot high. Almost to the shot clock. Back over the snowbank. You know, Jay Sean, it's a good thing, and we kind of joked about it with Coach Nate Bates, the men's lacrosse coach, back when we had that first ice storm, as we've got a whistle here, and they had that practice, or not practice, they had that scrimmage a couple of weeks ago, and they ended up using the women's lacrosse ball instead of the men's lacrosse ball, which the difference is the women's lacrosse ball is yellow, and the men's ball is white. And they said, well, if we played with a white ball, we would never find it.
Yeah, wow.
With all the snow, which was obviously more then than it was
Right.
than it is now. But as I said, it's a good thing that we're not having to deal with that here today.
There's no difference between, like, circumference rise, right? I think so. That's interesting.
There's a shot. Akers made another good stop, and that was close range, too. Aaliyah Akers, a wall there in net. And, I think that's a good thing. Obviously the score is what it is, and it's not good, Jay Sean, but you can still see some bright spots here, and I think Aaliyah Akers gives you a lot of reason for optimism right now.
Yeah, Akers definitely doing great so far. 5 of 6 in terms of saves and shots on goal. It's great numbers so far. While we have a stoppage here, get a look at that string of saves by Akers. Good save off the first one. Offensive team gets a rebound, and she gets another save. Great work from the freshman.
Kara Fenyo with a legal use of the stick penalty. Card's starting to add up for Greensboro a little bit here. It's Greensboro's third card of the game. Final 90 seconds of the third quarter. Pass right out in front. ManWaring tried to grab it, but the ground ball scooped up there by Primo. Love to see Greensboro get one last offensive run at it here at the end of the quarter. Primo shot high over the top of the net and out of bounds. Shots are now 36-1. Pass down low to Akers. Score for Lees-McRae. I tell you what, I think that the players in front of Akers kind of shielded her line of sight there from seeing the ball, because she kind of looked like she didn't really see it until it got to her. Make a hockey reference simply because I was watching a little bit of the Olympics hockey earlier today. It's kind of like when you have a player standing right in front of the net, kind of shielding the goalkeeper while the puck's being moved around outside, kind of setting a screen, if you will.
Yeah. It's always harder as a goalie with, I guess, players obstructing your view, obstructing your vision.
Final 5 seconds here. Morrell with the goal, by the way. That is her third of the year, or third of the game, rather. And that is the end of the third quarter. 16-1 your score on the Greensboro College Sports Network. All right, start of the fourth quarter. Greensboro down 16-1 in their season opener. Being outshot 37-1 and 24-1 in shots on goal. Ground balls 21-1 for Lees-McRae. Draw controls 9-7 to Lees-McRae. One of the things Greensboro's going to have to clean up is the turnovers, though. 16 turnovers here today, as opposed to just 7 for the Bobcats. Primo with it. We've switched sides for the final 15 minutes. Bounce pass up ahead to Johnson. Johnson sprinting into the front of the 12. Slings this one in. Good job there. I don't know if Akers got a stick on him. Morrell kind of tried to redirect it. There's a shot, and Akers makes another save. McQuinn goes down there. A little bit of incidental contact. Possession remains with the Bobcats, but right now it's the Aaliyah Akers show.
Yeah, Akers another good couple of saves right there. I mean, very few shots are getting by her.
You know, you look on the bad side of things, Greensboro hasn't scored here in the second half. The good news is they've only given up 2 goals since halftime.
Right.
Well, you talk about jinxing on free throws last night in basketball, Jay Sean. I might have just done the same thing.
Not great timing, but
17-1. And that would be Primo's 5th goal, tying Bednar's for the game high. 13:43 to go. We roll on. Again, women's lacrosse back in action Saturday, or Sunday rather. If I said Saturday, people would show up here and.
Oh yeah, that's so Saturday is Valentine's Day, and then
Yeah, Saturday is Valentine's Day, and then Sunday women's lacrosse against Sweetbriar at 2:00. Then a early season conference game against Meredith before 3 more non-conference games at home, and then the first conference game here at Pride Field against Methodist on March the 7th. We'll give you a full update on what's coming up here in Greensboro College athletics here in the fourth quarter as the Bobcats trying to mount another offensive challenge. We're in day 2 of the ODAC Swimming Championships right now. That one blocked out in front and goes out of bounds.
Those are at the Greensboro Aquatic Center.
Yeah,
right?
they are. I was actually talking with Kristen Hogan, our athletic trainer. She was over there earlier today. Was saying it was a really neat experience over there.
Yeah, I saw the facilities on the ODAC Instagram. It looked really nice.
I'm gonna see if I can get a update on the scoring over there, or at least the results over there. They started at 10 a.m. this morning. So yesterday, let's see if we can find some combined finals from yesterday. Akers trying to clear. for Greensboro. Problem for the Pride is the fact that nobody's able to get open right there. So the Pride did not compete in any of the events yesterday. Also, neither did Hampton-Sydney, so there's a shot high over the top of the crossbar. So we've had some of the combined prelims today in a couple of events, but no more final scores to report right now. Washington and Lee dominating both men's and women's right now as day 2 of the ODAC Swim Championships are nearing an end. Tomorrow, though, again, we mentioned baseball season opener against Washington and Lee. Men's lacrosse, their home opener against Randolph. There's a shot and a score. Brynly ManWaring goes down. I know everybody's kind of waiting to see how serious an incident that is for Brynly. And she gets up on her own, which is good to see. But Jay-Sean, we mentioned baseball tomorrow, obviously, and it's going to be good to see. I think a dangerous lineup for the Pride, and obviously the tough news that we got earlier today. You saw on Louis Barini's Instagram that he is done, suffered an injury. You hate to see that right before his senior year, and it's going to cost him his last season. And that was I'm sure that was a tough Instagram post for Louis to make earlier today.
Yeah, no, super sad to hear that, especially right before your senior season. But maybe he could retain his year eligibility. Maybe he can a red shirt and get that year back.
But here's what's going to be interesting. One of the things that Greensboro was feeling very comfortable with was the fact that they had a veteran infield this year, and obviously Evan Sykes and Barini have been turning to for a couple years now. So, and not only that, but I think he's one of your best bat handlers, best contact hitters. The question is who comes in to play second base and who's going to be the guy to really come in and do the things that they were expecting Louis to do.
Excited to see that tomorrow. Both men's lax and baseball against ODAC opponents, correct?
Yeah, and got to give some credit to men's lax too. Seth Woods, the Guilford transfer, came in, scored 3 goals in his Greensboro debut. Mattoon had a good day. Cedric Crenshaw, of course, one of your football teammates, USA South Rookie of the Week.
Another football teammate, Quentin Solomon, he does the face-offs for them. He did pretty well as well.
Another one to keep an eye on tomorrow is, of course, Justin Berry, one of the greatest players in Greensboro College history. His next goal will be his 100th in the green and white.
Impressive accolade there for him.
And you got to remember, he played 2 years at Guilford, or played a year and a little bit at Guilford, so he didn't even get the full time here at Greensboro College. He's going to be top 10 career in points and career goals. Is racing in on goal now is Beliveau, and she'll score. Beliveau's first goal of the evening makes it 18-1 with 9 minutes to go.
Could have looked there. Beliveau just going coast to coast.
Look at the speed, the way she pulls away from the Greensboro defenders as she crosses the center line.
That's just acceleration right there. Can't teach that. Coast to coast. Get the goal to go.
Now I'll put you on the spot here, Jay-Sean. We're hitting on all the sports here. You're on the call for softball on Saturday, their season opener. What's catching your eye there? What are you looking forward to?
Super excited. I mean, Roanoke's going to be a tough opponent, but just to open the year, doubleheader, just get your feet under you, see what the team, coming off a pretty good year last year. You bring back your best player, Ivy Ray, from last year as a coach. So, you do have that veteran presence in the locker room. It's just going to be a great year. Super excited.
I talked to Coach Bree Strickland the other day, and I think one of the interesting things last year, obviously you kind of inherit the lineup or the roster that Coach Mills had recruited. And, you look at it and you say, okay, well, there's not a lot of power in this lineup. But I think Coach Strickland was able to take what she had and kind of formulate a game plan around it instead of getting people to do something else. He said, hey, what are my players' strengths and how can we use that to our advantage? So last year we were a speed team. I think you're going to see more power this year from this edition of the softball team.
Yeah, exactly. As a coach, no matter what situation you walk into, you always want to do what's best for your team and what fits your team schematically, and kind of your numbers, what do you have, and you go based off that.
Kara Fenyo, a battle there for that loose ball, bumps into Barbie, but it's going to be Greensboro possession. So got to give Kara Fenyo A+ there for effort. See if Greensboro can find their second shot of the night. And we have another whistle. And Greensboro prematurely into the attacking zone, and again, the Pride have to switch to defensive mode. Morrell racing ahead through 3 defenders. Nice move there to get around one. There's a penalty and a nice stop by Akers. So a delayed penalty coming. That one knocked aside for a moment. And Coos fighting for it with Morrell. I guess they've waved that penalty off now. There's a shot. And it just got past Akers. There a score. Makes it 19-1, 6 minutes to go. Goal scorer was Morrell again. That is her 4th. She's got 2 assists to go with it, so actually, 2 assists to go with it. So 6-point game for her. And give Greensboro credit. They're not quitting out there. Still putting in a lot of effort.
As a coach, you'd love to see that. I mean, down 20-1 late in the 4th, but your team's still running up and down, giving their all. Gives you something to look forward to.
Good draw control there. Oh, Patton had it and lost it. Still fighting for that ground ball. It's going to be scooped up by Lees-McRae. Bobcats again in the attacking zone. So they could bleed this down to about 3:30 if they wanted to. They're going to go ahead and score. I believe that was Beliveau. Yep, I believe so. So that'll be her 2nd. Oh, excuse me. Maya Arter, number 24, picking up the goal.
See Arter there just sneaking behind the defense. Goes completely unnoticed. Clear shot for the goal.
4 minutes to play. Jay-Sean, obviously, to say today didn't go quite the way Greensboro wanted to. Obviously an understatement, but you play again in 3 days. How do you reset after this?
You just got to take what you can from it, take the good from the bad. Yes, scoreboard doesn't look the way you want it to, but you saw a lot of good things. You saw Akers came out, really started the second half really strong. You know, a little bit later in the 4th quarter you get gassed, but for a team that hasn't really been on the offensive attack much, haven't really seen what the offense can do. So I think next game they'll get a chance to be on the attack a little bit more. And
Sydney Patton took a hit the back of her head there from Sage Jones. And it's a yellow. And Patton is down, so we'll step aside here. 3:33 to go on the Greensboro College Sports Network. nothing to talk about.
Greensboro College. To Greensboro College. To Greensboro College. To Greensboro College.
Like, we have a zombie.
That is exactly how my friend that's a submarine.
I grew up on the Outer Banks, Fenyo, North Carolina. So the path to Greensboro College was a little bit of an unbeaten path. The same thing here. Like, I had never watched a sport. I don't know anything about cars. Taking an opportunity that comes out of nowhere, and it might not be the vision that you had for yourself, but you could make a mark. I think the records were kind of just a byproduct of who I wanted to become as a man.
Yeah.
Back home, I live like 10 minutes from the Renegades.
Oh, yeah.
So, and my friend, season ticket holder right behind home plate, like literally first row. So we go to like all the games.
I'm less than 10 minutes from the Dash in Winston.
Oh, okay.
Who
are they?
High A with the White Sox.
White Sox.
When I was in the Atlantic League with the Rockers, one of the teams was the Charleston Dirty Birds, which rebranded, but they were the West Virginia Power when they were in affiliated ball, so I got to go to their stadium a lot. And they have like a Hall of Fame thing with like Dave Parker and Burt Blyleven.
So you traveled with the Rockers?
Not all the time, the closest ones, yeah.
That's sick.
I go to Gastonia, I went to Charleston, a few others.
That's sick.
All right. 3:21 to play. (21-1) the score. Kenzie Helton working the far side. Maybe Greensboro with one last push offensively. Pride working just outside the 12 far side. There's Paggio to Thomason. Good to see DK back in the game after she took a hit earlier. Pass to Chinchilla. Chinchilla couldn't come away with it. And now on the run is Johnson for Lees-McRae. Poked aside there by Fenyo. Again, we talked about it. Greensboro not giving up. Defense still playing hard. I think it was still a close game. The coach is still very much into it as well. Here's an opportunity for Morrell. Morrell's going to curl out of it. I think they're calling off the Dogs a little bit here.
Just about under 2 minutes to go. They're just going to try to bleed as much of the shot clock as possible.
Yeah, I think they can take it down to about 50 seconds here if they took it all the way down. Oh, that pass right out in front. Good job there by Akers to snag it on a hop. Clear there looking for Helton. Instead, it's going to be taken by Coppin. Well, ground ball there for Fenyo. Almost had it. Knocks it up to herself, but, oh, there's a whiff there from Arter. Still fighting for a ground ball right at the mouth of the 12, now inside to the 8.
I think they can just about take this down to the end of the game.
They can. Yeah, with the shot clock resetting. 65 seconds in the game, 80 on the shot clock. That could be it. And Everybody just standing around now. So Lees-McRae will go to 1-1. Greensboro will fall to 0-1 with an opportunity to get back to 500 on Sunday. Well, Greensboro trying to get aggressive on defense here, at least make the Bobcats move around a little bit, not stand around. 30 seconds remaining in the game. Passing it over to the far side. Back behind GLE now. 10 seconds left. And that's going to do it. Final score here today. Lees-McRae wins it 21-0 over Greensboro College. As the Pride drop their season opener. Jay-Sean will do a quick post game here and call it a night as Lees-McRae dominant performance today by the Division II school.
Yeah, I thought to come out in that second half, we saw Akers in her first collegiate appearance. We saw her go out, pick up a couple big saves, a couple tough saves. So obviously we saw that. That was good. That was a bright spot. We saw Brynly ManWaring get her first goal on the year. Obviously a bright spot when she can get in some free grass. So, yes, the scoreboard does say one thing, but I think you can take some good from this game.
Absolutely. Leading goal scorer today was Bednar's with 6, 5 for Primo, 4 for Morrell. Johnson, Cerveos both with 2, 1 each for Beliveau and Arter. For Greensboro, the lone scorer, Brynly ManWaring. For the Bobcats, Tori Mice gave up 1 goal, did not make a save. For Greensboro, Thomason saved 7 of 21. Akers saved 9 of 16. And like you mentioned, I think certainly a bright spot in that one. Jay-Sean, final thoughts here today, and we'll get ready for another full weekend starting tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, scoreboard says one thing, but there's so much good you can take out of this game. Still a long season ahead of us. Yes, the numbers may not be good, but the team comes out and fights. They never gave up. They kept playing defense, and I think that's something that you can take as a coach and build upon. I
think that's going to be a hallmark of this team today is the fact that they will certainly be a team that you can count on their effort day in and day out. Well, join us tomorrow. Baseball at noon. We'll be on the call at 11:40 tomorrow, and then Bobby Welch will be on the call for men's lacrosse at 6 o'clock tomorrow evening as they take on Randolph in their home opener. That's what's coming up next on Greensboro College Athletics, but that's a wrap for us here tonight. Final score one last time in the Greensboro College women's lacrosse season opener. Lees-McRae wins it 21-1. A big thank you to all of our game day staff, our Director of Sports Information, Stephen Weidenhouse, my producer and analyst today, Jay-Sean Ayala. I'm Kendrick Fruits, wishing you a green and white good night. This has been a presentation of Greensboro College women's lacrosse on the Greensboro College